Thank you for cruising with me this morning.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's nice to meet you, Chris.
It's good to meet you too, Margaret. And I've heard bits and pieces about you. I know your nickname's Puddin'. I know that you're a former Miss Guam Universe.
That's correct.
Wow.
I worked with Madeline.
And I've heard you also worked with Madeline. Now, let's talk a little bit about that relationship, working with Madeline Berdallo, your opponent now. When, where, how did this happen?
Well, this was in the late 60s, and Madeline was very active with the Guam Beauty Pageant, and so was my Auntie Chillin Bamba, George Bamba's wife. And we simply worked together with modeling groups off-island, on-island, and probably about a year and a half I was involved with her in the local retail groups here on island.
And so would you say that you and Madeline are friends, or is just something, a coincidence that you guys happen to work together way back when?
Well, I think that first I've known Madeline most of my life, and we've all grown up here on the island together. I knew both her and her husband, her family. My youngest son, one of his best friends going to school was Nicole, our granddaughter. But aside from that, we've taken different paths. And hers went to a political, where I went into the business world.
I was able to sit down with your opponent, Congresswoman Berdallo, and one of the points that she had brought up, and I don't want to get into tit for tat, but she brought up the point that not a lot of people know Margaret Metcalfe, and that you spent a lot of time away from Guam, and now you're back here running for Congress. And what prompted that? What prompted you to be away from the island and to come back and try and put your mark on the Guam political scene?
Well, throughout most of my life, I was back and forth here in business and in real estate and in retail here on Guam. I was not prominent in the political scene, which, she is correct in. I never envisioned going into that arena. But Chris, there comes a time, the last 7 years I cared for my mother. She was Pumpkin McDonald from Magana Heights, and she died at 94, sharp as a tack to the end. And my mom had worked in Washington, D.C., and she kept saying to me that the best way you can help our people is to be here and getting involved in things, because we don't carry any votes here. And a lot of my friends jumped on board, and before you know it, I thought, well, I'm going to check the scene out. Quite frankly, I came to offer our folks a choice. And at this point in time, there are people that are very devout to our former representative, and I respect that loyalty. However, we do have to start stopping and looking at the big picture and realize, are we going to settle for status quo and for the comments that are coming from Washington designating us as something less than first-class citizens?
Yeah,
or are we going to step up to the plate and make an issue of this?
What do you think about this argument that Congresswoman Berdallo has been in D.C. a long time, and that in order to create relationships and to open doors and to get places in Congress, we need someone to be there a long time. And I pose this question to the Congresswoman: how long do you wait before you realize, hey, okay, we're riding this horse, we've been riding this horse 10 years, we ain't getting anywhere? 12.
She's been there 6 terms now.
So what do you think of this argument that, okay, let's say Margaret Metcalfe wins the general election, she's Guam's delegate to Congress, she's gonna have a hard time because it's gonna take 5 years for people to even know her name, for her to get her foot in the door? Do you think that argument is a cop-out in some ways?
Well, first of all, I'm going to have to say that people that know me know different. I'm not a quiet butterfly. I don't sit in a corner. And a lot of people have and I didn't make this up. I've had people send it to me. Remember to put substance over seniority, and that's where I carry my clout. Substance. I'm a businesswoman. I am not a professional or career politician. I am not going to let it string out as long as it can to ensure my position there. I'm a businesswoman. What happens is at the end of the day, have you done your job? Have you helped the people that you're there to serve? And the interesting thing about it is that how can we have honest representation when our representative chooses to have backroom deals and then bring mandates to Guam without the benefit of any of our input? And let me just mention one other thing. The Compact of Free Association is literally killing our economy, our culture, our way of life. And yet, the only time you can make any substantive change to this impact or compact is if you're there when it's reviewed and renewed. The last two times it was reviewed and renewed, 2003, 2011, the only representative not in attendance was ours. Now, you answer me, Chris. Can we say we are being 100% represented?
What's going to be your strategy as we get closer to the general election? Because as an observer of politics on Guam, I kind of noticed that you didn't really campaign so long before the primary. You went hard for maybe 2.5 months, at least in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And now that this is the big dance, it's winner take all. Are you planning to get out there more and to do more with advertising for the general election?
Well, yes, most definitely. And believe me, coming in so late was not intentional. We had expected to come in sooner, my husband and myself. The problem I encountered was I had one of my first cousins, who was raised as my brother, showed up in California stating that he had to have a triple bypass, and we all stayed until he was out of the woods. That was what slowed me down initially. Once I got here, I hit the ground running. I think the day I arrived, I went to the Election Commission and picked up my packet. And then I tried to connect with both Frank Bloss and Felix Camacho to find out where they were. Because my full intentions were, if someone was jumping into the race and was already qualified to deal with it, then I would jump on the bandwagon and support them. The problem that I ended up encountering was that it appeared through most of the build-up to the election, it appeared as if Madeline was going to be running unopposed, and you can't allow what's happened for the last 12 years to continue and not give the people a choice. If they choose, if they're happy with the status quo, then that's fine, but they need to have a choice.
I just have to wish you good luck in the general election. You had a strong showing in the primary, and we'll see come November if the proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding. God bless you, dear.
So good luck, Margaret.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for cruising with me.
Thank you, hon, for giving me the time. And please, influence your friends, irregardless of which way they vote, to vote.
Brought to you by Triple J, celebrating 30 years of putting our customers first.